Before we get into today's episode of Daily Brightness, we just want to say a huge thank you to our proud partners, Shaw, for being with us from the very beginning, and what a start it's been.
I think the reaction to our podcast so far has been nothing but positive from our family, from our friends, from our teammates, from our fans. It's been really nice to see all the positive reviews and feedback, so keep that all coming.
Yeah, I also think that we've probably learned a lot about ourselves, and me and Rach always talk about this podcast. You know, it's more than just us chatting. It's actually like a little therapy session. And I've actually learned a lot about myself, and I feel like it's given me the confidence to open up a little bit more and show that more vulnerable side. So yeah, it's been really, really refreshing. And we also get to appreciate all the things that we've achieved. Rach, everything you're achieving with Villa, you know, the form at the end of the season, me getting my 200th in the WSL and talking about all our accomplishments, the hard times. Yeah, it's becoming a really nice platform actually, and I'm really enjoying where it's going. But thank you to everyone for the amazing support.
So thanks again to Shaw for showing up for women's football and backing the pod from day one. And thank you all for tuning in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Rest is Football Daily Brightness. Rach, how are you?
Good, can't complain. The weather's amazing. How are you?
You're looking tanned. Well, I'm great. And firstly, congratulations, MBE.
Thanks, bestie.
So sick. How did you find out?
It's like it stands for Millie Bright Extraordinaire. I actually got a letter through. It was really nice, got a letter through. But it actually came through soon because the letter went to the accountant for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so it was a nice, really nice way I found out. But also, it was hard to keep it a secret from everyone. But obviously, got to do what you got to do. But I was obviously like stunned when I heard the news, but obviously delighted and honoured. And I mean, you know, the feeling of receiving something like that is so special.
It's weird though, isn't it? You're like, is it real? Like, is it?
Yeah.
You see
like,
the stamp on the letter. Yeah, literally, it's a scam. Everything's a scam.
I was like literally on my way to Aldi or Home Bargains or something and got this letter. I was like, nah, it can't be right. Little old me.
So sick though. I'm so happy for you. You deserve it as well. Like,
thanks, bestie.
So sick.
How are you anyway? How's things been since surgery? What have you been up to?
Yeah, really good. I've actually, because I've been so frustrated, like been on my crutches and stuff and resting, which I hate doing, I've decluttered the house and I just went on like a mad cleaning spring. So I did that. I am officially able to walk, which is
great
nice.
News.
So fantastic. We're on the right tracks. But no, it's really, really good.
Well, if you can see, do you see this bump on my head here?
No. What have you done?
You can see it, look.
Oh, I can now when you do that sideways.
Oh my God, Millie. I absolutely cracked my head on the kitchen counter yesterday. Like I was bent down to put washing in the washing machine. I have never, ever, ever felt pain like this. I shot to the floor, like just fell to the floor.
Come closer.
I was like, what the hell is that? Hang on, let me see if in the light. Look at it.
Rachel.
Honestly, such an egghead, but it's so painful. Like I feel like someone has just got a sledgehammer and clapped me in the forehead. But anyway.
Are you concussed?
I think I might be. Honestly, I can't even do that. It hurts so bad. Oh my God.
Do this.
Ow. No, I can't. It hurts.
Silly girl, only you. I thought you were going to tell me you did it doing some like DIY stunt.
No. I wish it was a good story. Wish it was a good story. Right, anyway, let's deep dive into your football journey, since obviously I bored the viewers with my history in the last episode.
Actually, they loved it.
We've had a lot of requests after hearing mine about yours, so let's go. When did you first start playing football, and what made you start playing?
Oh, well, I actually started by mistake. I mean, as we do as kids, we're always kicking a ball in the garden. I absolutely drove my neighbours insane. Like, the amount of balls that got popped, I had this really miserable... Oh, Dexy. Dexy's here, everyone.
Dexy just popped up to say hello.
When I was younger, I had a really miserable old man as a neighbour, and every time a ball went over, he used to pop it. So I just used to keep getting another ball.
I hate that.
Like, just throw it back over. I just don't understand it. Like, if I broke a plant, guess what? It'll grow back. And I didn't mean to. I was quite shit when I was a kid. So, you know what I mean? We didn't start off as professionals. So obviously I just used to like kick about in the garden. And then my friend Jasmine Paulson, we were playing out once and she's like, oh, I've got to go like training now. She's like, oh, why don't you just come along? And I was like, all right. It was £1 to join in, the days of paying £1. So I went down to like the local little recce bit and yeah, I joined in and I just remember loving like running around, like just, you know me, 100 miles per hour. And then Andy came back with the papers and was like, we want to sign her. My mum and dad were like, she don't even play. Like she rides motorbikes and horses. That's it. She kicks a ball in the garden. And then he were like, no, like we really, really wanted to sign. Like she's like really good. And so that was that. And then they were like, do you want to play? So I did. So that was my local team, Killamarsh Dynamos, which I absolutely loved. Like I think those were my best years. We were just a group of girls that just like were always looking to improve, like loved playing, loved just being energetic, and those were some of my like fondest memories. Like Dad coming down, and I used to remember. I think this is why I've got no brain cells left. He used to boot a ball in his steel toe cap boots as high as he could. He'd be like, "Head it!" So there'd be me like this, like trying to head it, and he'd just go boink. And then honestly, that's all I can remember. And yeah, just like running down the road in your studs like on a Saturday morning to play. And I honestly loved it. And I think because I was crap as a kid, like it used to bug me. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to, but I did used to score a lot of goals. I was a striker as a kid, like just loved it. So that was my first team. And yeah, like I said, didn't actually ever know there was a local team. So I did actually start by mistake. And then I like grew fonder of it. And I was like, oh my God, I want to play every minute now. Give me a ball, like booting it against the wall and just trying to get better. So that was the start.
And then from there, you went to Sheffield United.
Yeah.
How did you get scouted for them?
I think when you're little, you don't really know too much about the scouting.
Yeah, just playing and they get you, don't they?
You just play and it's just like, it's like fishing. They just like hook you on and like, we want you, and then it's off you pop. So
yeah,
they kind of, obviously you have conversations with your managers and your mum and dad and stuff like that. And yeah, it was again another decision where we all sat down and they were like, do you want to do it? And this is the one thing that I really appreciate from my mum and dad is I've made all my decisions, even from a young age. Like I've made every single decision when it comes to like my career and my football, and nothing's been forced. Like I haven't been told what to do. Like it's always like, Mill, what do you want? Do you want to play? Do you not want to play? Do you want to move? Do you want to stay? We'll support you either way. And I think by then, like I'd played for Dynamos for quite a while, and I loved it. And Sheffield came along and it was the academy, so it was, you know, it was kind of like a step up. I was really nervous actually to go because I didn't know anyone, and that's actually where I met Beth England. Yeah, we've kind of like followed each other in our careers. Like I've moved, then Beth moved, I've moved, and then Beth moved, and then I moved again, and she moved again. So obviously me and Beth have kind of like followed each other since a young age. But going to the academy, it was like a complete new level, and I think a real insight into like being a footballer, although you're still a young age. It was, I think I went to the academy when I was 12. I started playing when I was 9, so I only had it was quite like a quick journey for me. Went to the academy and it was all these rules, and parents can't shout on the sideline. If you do, you get fined, which that rule I actually love because parents then can't get involved. Like you can cheer on game day, but on training days you weren't allowed to say anything. Like, and if you did and you shouted anything, you'd get a fine, which I actually really liked.
Everybody's mum and dad think they know the best, don't they? At that moment?
Literally, oh, she should be playing, should have passed there. All right, mate, cheers. But then I also remember, funny story, obviously you used to get a fine for being late. I went through this period where I had like a purple streak in my fringe, and I don't know why I wanted it. I got fined for it.
What?
I got a fine. And I was literally like, my mum was like, no, she's not paying it. Nope. She was like, she is not paying it. She can have whatever colour hair she wants. And I was like, why am I getting fined? Like, it was hideous. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know why I wanted purple in my hair, but I did. It was in my fringe. Going through my pink era. And I got fined for it. Can you believe it?
Pony Club.
It was
bring
mental.
it back, I think.
Shall I bring it back?
Bring back the pink strip.
All right, I'll think about it. But I just remember the academy being like, you're really working on like technical stuff, and it was like, it seemed really professional. Like obviously as a kid, I was like, holy shit, I've gone from kicking in the recce and booting the ball in the sky with my dad and just heading it like a wally. And then I'm doing like a logbook for like my nutrition. I had to do a logbook for like my S&C. like you had to do like tests, like if you didn't pass the test, then they'd release you. So that almost like came with, you know, the pressure, but from a young age. But I loved it. I loved the academy. I loved being told you need to work on this. This needs to be better. I loved doing like the logbook and keeping track of everything. And
I remember them logbooks.
yeah, literally, I loved it. I used to fill everything in. And all I remember is strawberry yuzu. I used to have it after every single game, every single training session. Mom, I was like, need my shake. It's just a yuzu meal. It's not going to do much. But yeah, I loved it. It was just like a step up, and I made some really good friends there as well. I loved the environment. But yeah, it was just like the next level again.
And then so from there, Donny Rovers Bells, good old Donny Bells, they're such a massive club. Like growing up, I just remember there was like Bells, Leeds, Arsenal, like the big hitters, wasn't it? Like they were like the top teams. So how did you end up there?
I think they've gone a little bit like under the radar, you know, but I think people forget like how big of a club they actually are, and they were like the start of women's football, really. Like when you think back to the beginning, like Donny was like the team, like they were massive. Yeah. But again, just obviously I was at the academy, and then when I got to 16, got scouted, and I remember John Buckley, what a legend by the way, John Buckley, Scott and Duncan were all there at the time, like they were all the coaches and really good friends to this day. But I remember they rang me and was like, we want you to come and play for... I went straight to the first team, which I absolutely shat my pants, like going straight in there. I was like, what the heck? And for anyone listening, let's just cast our memories back to Millie. When I was 16, I was so small, like I weren't the size that I am now. I was tiny. And then I was going to play with like these like grown women, like Vicky Exley. I remember my first session, absolutely.
Kaz Walker, was she there when you played?
I don't actually know. Vicky Exley I always remember because she taught me so much, and she was like such a good captain. But she was so rough. Like my first session, I'm not lying, she absolutely annihilated me, like completely just knocked me out. She was like,
I feel like that's what you need though, is like welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, well, it's funny because that's what I do at Chelsea. That's what I've done every year at Chelsea. When a new signing comes, I'm like, welcome to the club. But
it's learnt behaviour, isn't it?
Yeah, so, and I remember John came up to me and went, you're going to let her do that? And I went, well, yeah, I've just signed, like I'm literally a baby. And she's like the captain and the most experienced. He went, no. He went, next time she gets the ball, go and nail her. So she got the ball, and I just volleyed her absolutely, like ball and player completely. And she went, I respect that. And then she was like, she taught me like some valuable lessons, like really, really good lessons. But she was such a baller as well. She was so sick. But that was my first year there was quite tough actually, because I didn't play. I literally didn't play. I might have got like a minute, like, and I was a striker, and the striker that was playing. The starting striker, she was an experienced player, like really, really good. And obviously I was just this young kid that was pretty shit back then, to be honest. Literally. So I hardly played, like, and then I went on loan to Leeds.
Well, Leeds aren't we?
Which was the best decision. Leeds. Best decision I've ever made, like ever made. And that, I do believe that it was that decision, like going there, that kick-started my England career.
To be honest, there's never a bad move when you move to Leeds, to be honest. Let's be real.
Nah, I love Leeds. Love the kit as well. The kit was sick. That was one of my best years of football as well. So sick. But yeah, Donny was like a bit of a rocky start, because I just felt it was like too soon almost, like to go straight into the first team.
Just shows even back then that the loan systems are good.
Yeah,
if used correctly.
Yeah, and if you go out on loan with the right mentality and the right attitude, like I went out on loan and I started every single game. I actually scored on my debut on my 18th birthday. It was my debut for Leeds, and I scored. And I was a striker. I couldn't stop scoring, and I played with Leah Galton there as well.
Bagsman.
Yeah, so it was one of my best years, and I got scouted for the under-19s when I was there. And then after a year, I went back to Donny. And again, best decision ever, because I felt then ready to compete. And then I didn't miss a game for Donny since then. I started every game.
I love that. So from there, is it from Donny that you signed for Chelsea?
Yeah.
That must have been a big decision.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't take the first offer. So obviously I was at Donny, and then in my last year, just when Chelsea came in, we played, Chelsea was actually our first game. We got absolutely battered. Like we lost like something like 6-0, got absolutely battered. And then we got relegated after that game, because that's when City came in. And obviously City had the money, so they came straight in and we got relegated. And we had to play a whole season knowing we were going down, regardless of the outcome.
Wow.
Like obviously we didn't finish very high in the table, but even if we had done, it wouldn't have mattered. We would have been relegated.
That's bad, that.
So, but yeah, obviously Chelsea came in, and I remember sitting down with John, my mum, my dad, and Paul, obviously who's at Chelsea now. And it was just too soon. Like, I think I'd learned a lot from maybe going to Donny a little bit early, which I've got no regrets, because otherwise I wouldn't be sat where I am now. But I think if you don't feel ready for something, like, and again, I've made all my decisions. No one's told me like what to do. Mum and dad have always said, this is our advice, or, you know, what we're not going to, obviously they're going to give advice. They're my parents and they want the best for me. But I didn't. I said, no, I can't. Firstly, I said, I don't feel ready to do that. Chelsea is a massive, massive club. The players that were there were like top players. And I felt like I'd still got a little bit more to learn at Donny. And because we'd just been relegated as well, I didn't want to leave that. I seen that as a challenge. Like getting relegated, I saw it as like an opportunity to, I don't know, just become better and like stick with the club. I'm very loyal to where I'm at. Like, I'm not someone that moves around teams a lot. I like to stay where I am. And I felt like I'd still got a little bit more to achieve with them, and I just didn't feel ready to go. So I said no, and we got relegated. And then thankfully they came in again after that year, and that's when I said yeah in a heartbeat. Before I even spoke to anyone, I said yep. And then I rang my mum and dad and I was like, I've just signed for Chelsea.
So did you go as a striker to Chelsea, or was that when you were playing as... Because you played in midfield a bit, didn't you, as well?
Yeah. So Dynamos, I was literally all over the pitch, because obviously you haven't got like however many players on the pitch.
Yeah.
When I went to United, I was striker. Then when I went to Doncaster, I was striker / when I first went, I was a striker. Leeds, I was a striker. And then when I went back to Donny, I was actually midfield. I kept dropping. This is where the drop down began. So when I went back to Donny after my loan, I was like midfield, like 10 / midfield. And then they kept getting a few injuries in centre back. So I kept going back, and then I'd flick between the two. And then it was the same for England. 19s, I was a striker. But then when I went to 23s, I was midfield and centre back, midfield, centre back, midfield, centre back. Even when I made my when I made my debut, I was up top with you. But even
it's funny, isn't it, how certain coaches see certain
crazy
attributes.
But even under like Mark Sampson, I was playing centre mid and centre back, then centre mid, centre back. And then when I went to Chelsea, I was centre mid.
Wow.
Centre mid, centre back, centre mid, centre back, centre mid, centre back. And then I remember that was right up until, when did I sit down with Emma? It was quite late on, you know. I played like a couple seasons like that, and then we sat down and I said, listen, I want to be the best in a position. What is that position? And she was like, centre back. I was like, okay, I want to be world class in a position. Is it centre back? And she was like, yeah. So that's where then I was like, okay, I want to excel in it. It's good to be versatile, but I wanted to be like the best in one position. And don't get me wrong, I'll have a little wander up front and a little run around, and if I need a goal, stick me up there. Not like anyone crosses to me when I'm up there, so pointless. But
I mean, yeah, that's obviously a brave move, because you moved away from home. At what age were you then?
I signed for Chelsea in December 2014, but I didn't move down until 2015. So what was I think I was like 20.
Yeah,
20?
So it's young, isn't it, to move your whole life?
So young. Oh, I hate the first year. I hated living away, but I loved the football. But I was like a ticking time bomb. And then I remember Emma pulled me in and she was like, you need to let whatever's in your head out, because you literally are about to explode. And like, I was struggling so bad. Like I drove home every single week. Every single week I drove home without a shadow of a doubt. I'd get up at 4 a.m. and I'd drive home. I'd go,
that's mad.
So we'd play on a Sunday. I'd go in Monday for recovery. I'd drive straight home Monday afternoon, and I'd stay Monday night. Tuesday would be a day off. I'd drive home at 4 a.m. on a Wednesday and go straight to training, because I was struggling bad. Being away from home, I was like, oh my God, I'm missing home so bad. I was like, I can't do it. But I loved the football.
So what was the turning point for you then to stop doing that?
I think after my first year, obviously we won the double, so I got a real taste for like the club that I was at, what's expected, the standards, and got a taste for winning. Like as a player as well, I was like, holy shit, this feels like amazing. Like I want to win again. Like it was hard, but I want to win again.
Yeah.
And then I think after that season, second season, I still travelled a little bit, but not as much. And then I started to understand that one, I got more comfortable, but two, the toll that it took on my body doing all that travelling, I was like, poof. And I played a hell of a lot. Like when I went to Chelsea, I basically went straight in and I grabbed my position and then I kept it. And I've kept it like ever since, really. And it was just draining me, Rach. Like I was so tired. I was like, oh my God, I've got to stop doing this. So I guess it was just like it was like maturing a little bit. Like
because it takes its toll eventually, doesn't it? Like I know I can't even drive now as far as I used to. I'm getting knack. I need to stop halfway. I'm like,
oh, honestly, and that's when people are like, oh, you must go home so much, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it now.
No, yeah, it's too much, but it is. I think just maturing. Being more comfortable, getting a really good, solid group of friends. Like when I was there, first day, it was like Jodie Brett, Rosella, Drew Spence, Jem Davidson. We had like a really close-knit group and I absolutely loved it. But my mum and dad, my family come to every game, so I was really blessed and lucky that they did that. But it was a massive, massive move. But yeah, like I said, it's paid off and I've never looked back since, and I've never ever thought of leaving. I've always felt like there's something more to achieve, and I feel like every season I've developed and gotten better. So that's always my mentality. If there's more to achieve, then like I don't need to like go anywhere else.
Yeah,
but I love the club.
You've definitely made a name for yourself at Chelsea, so you made the right decision.
Thanks, bestie.
Right, you've heard about my story and now Millie's story, so it's time for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you got your cup of tea and biscuits, because we have a little bit of breaking news in the WSL. There has been a decision made. Rach, I'm guessing you've seen it as well. They're going to expand the league with 2 more teams, but the relegation is still going to be in place. Have you got any thoughts on this? I have mine.
Well, it's almost like they've probably listened to our podcast about 6 weeks ago and gone, what a good idea. What a fantastic idea. Let's take that.
They sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it is good because I think it's exactly what we said, isn't it? Like you still get that relegation element, but we're still growing the league. So it's a win-win for us, really, isn't it?
Yeah, win-win. I think it's really good that we're expanding. I think, again, it shows the growth of the game. We're going in the right direction. But I also think it's super important to have relegation. It makes it competitive. You're fighting for something. And it puts pressure on teams to make sure they're doing all the right things and they're pushing their clubs to push the women's side and, keep the standards high. So there's no room for being comfortable. So, yeah, a little bit of breaking news for you all. But we are going to move on to our final part of the episode.
So this is our Agony Aunt section, which I think is definitely new for me and you, isn't it?
Tasty.
We've both probably been in positions where we've had to advise people before, our friends and whatnot, but this is interesting. And I'm very, very intrigued to see your thoughts on this and what advice we'd give. So I'm going to read out the whole dilemma that we've been faced with, okay? Hey, Millie and Rach, loving the pod. I never thought I'd be the type of person to write into something like this, but I saw your Agony Aunt story and thought, why not? Something happened at my best friend's wedding that's been eating away at me ever since, and I don't know whether to speak up about it or let it go. I need an outside perspective, and I love you girls because you speak real northern sense. For the record, I'm going to use fake names. My best friend Amelia got married last month. We've been so close since uni. She met Daniel 3 years ago and fell for him fast. I always supported her, even though I never fully warmed to him. It wasn't that he was awful, more that he was a little slimy. Always wanted the eyes on him, a bit arrogant at times, and sometimes would say questionable things. Still, I was happy when they got engaged because he made Amelia so happy. I took my role as maid of honour seriously. I planned the hen do, helped her pick the dress, and topped up her Prosecco whenever she needed it. Legend. Then came the rehearsal dinner. After a few glasses of wine, Daniel pulled me aside. I assumed he wanted to thank me or something, but he instead said, you and I have always had something going on, haven't we?
Dirty dog!
Come on, Daniel. I thought he was joking. I even laughed, but he looked deadly serious. I told him he was drunk and that he should focus on his fiancée, my best friend. He just smiled and gave me this look. I didn't tell Amelia. I justified it by saying it was a one-off and he was drunk. But the next day, as we got ready, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I kept second-guessing my decision to stay quiet. Felt awful, can't lie. At the wedding itself, everything was fine. Daniel didn't say anything inappropriate again, but he did keep looking at me, just long enough for it to feel odd. But was I seeing things? Am I overreacting? Overthinking? Now I can't sleep at night. I don't know if I should have told her. What if he cheats on her in a year and I had a chance to prevent it? What if it was just a silly drunk moment and saying something would have ruined their wedding for nothing? So, do I tell Amelia?
I've got 2 points on this immediately. First point, Daniel, you dirty dog. I'd have punched you in your face. I'd have boshed you straight between your eyes. I'd have blacked your eyes. That's what I would have done. Secondly, on the flip side, devil's advocate here, just going to say, what if the best friend was testing? What if she's been tested? What if Daniel was testing her?
What, to see if she'd tell her?
To see if she'd do anything. All right, would you put me, let's do a scenario.
I actually think we'll have opposing views on this, because I think if he had have done something physical, right?
Yeah.
Or if he tried to kiss her or something, then like if your partner tried to kiss me the night before your wedding, I'd be like, okay, one, why did you do that? Second of all, back the fuck off.
Back up.
Third of all, yes, I would tell you. In that situation, I'd be like, listen, like, I don't want to ruin your wedding day, but he has just tried to kiss me. That's a different story. For me, I think if he could have just been saying that drunk, the next day thing where he's looking at you, maybe.
They do say drunken words speak a sober mind.
Yeah, I agree. But also,
when you're drunk, you say what you're really feeling, no hesitation.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I'm absolutely not condoning this behaviour. However, I don't think I would have told you, because in my head, right, I'm just ruining your day for no reason. It could be absolutely nothing. That's how I would perceive it. I'm not saying that what this lady has done is wrong. My perception of it would be, if he'd have just said that comment to me in passing, I'd have just been like, well, I probably would have sat him down and said, listen, you can't behave like that. Like, you're marrying my best friend. Are you serious about this? Have an actual conversation about it. That's how I think I would approach it, and then be like, okay, this is your last warning. Like, I'm not gonna break my best friend's heart on a wedding day, but if you show me that you're sorry and you're not gonna do that again, then I won't tell her.
Right, okay, I've got 2 things. I'm gonna flip it. You're getting married. Sarah sticks it on me.
She didn't. No, he didn't stick it on her.
Well, that's coming next. We all know that's next.
So if Sarah said to you, that was very judgmental, Millie, actually. So if Sarah said to you the night before our wedding, Millie, we've always had something, me and you, haven't we? You'd laugh in her face, probably, first of all.
And then if she said she was serious, I'd be like, oosh.
If she said she was serious, like it was like genuinely dead serious. If she said she was
serious, I'm coming straight to your room, love.
Yeah,
because on the flip side, what if this happened and then a year down the line, like, you actually found out and things were rocky between you two, and then one of you ended up leaving? Like, what if let's just say Daniel.
Yeah, then I'd be like, why didn't you tell me if you knew?
Exactly. And that's why having that regret would then, like, I would never be able to live with myself. And I just think, like, who do you think you are saying that comment when I'm literally your best friend? Like,
yeah, no, that it is wrong. 100% is wrong. It's a big thing to put on somebody's wedding day, that is, though. Like,
context is everything. That's what I will say.
And it's really hard because obviously we're just getting this information. Like, we didn't see the facial expressions or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not condoning what he's said, but for me, in my opinion, if that was all that was said, I probably wouldn't tell you.
It's all context. Like, what was the body language? Was he close to you? Like, were he looking into your eye? And then for me, it's the looks after. Like, what you're looking at. Seriously, what you keep looking at? Fucking wife's over there, mate. Crack on.
But then equally, I just think, like, okay, this girl has obviously said, I can't sleep at night. I don't know if I should have told her. What if he cheats on her in a year? I think the thing is, what I would say is, have peace knowing that if he's going to cheat, he's going to do it whether you told her or not.
Yeah, he's going to do it either way.
He's either going to do it or he's not. Like, and that's not your fault.
Just make sure it's not with you.
Yeah, that would be my first point of advice. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm more erring on the side of, I wouldn't tell you. If your partner had kissed me or tried to kiss me the night before your wedding, I'd be like, Millie, you're not marrying this person.
Do you know what it is, though? It's because of I can't let go of the fact that she said he was a bit slimy before and made inappropriate comments. But then again, that could just be his character. Some guys are sleazeballs and they make shitty comments and they make, like, they just do that.
Do stuff for banter, don't they?
Their egos are so big that they think, like, it's appropriate to make those sort of comments. So if that's his character, then probably let it slide and he's just, probably had one too many beers.
But the question that she's asked us is, do I tell her now?
If you think he was being dead serious and that he would actually cheat, I would tell you, because I couldn't live with the regret of if in a year's time or 6 months' time they cheated. I could have prevented you from that heartbreak. I could have. So that's what I wouldn't be able to live with.
No, but I don't think you'd prevent me from it, because if they're going to do it, they're going to do it anyway.
I know, but then you're just not wasting 6 months of your life. Like you could have said, toodaloo, like pack the bag, see ya.
Yeah, but equally, what if they never cheated?
Then there's that dilemma.
So,
and to be honest, you're going to have to find out for yourself, I guess. So,
do you want to know what I would do in that situation right now? I still wouldn't tell her yet. I would go to the partner and say, listen, this is making me lose sleep. I'm so miserable. I'm so unhappy. I feel like I'm keeping something from my best friend. What happened that night, or whatever your actions were, if I see any glimpse of that ever again, you're done. Like, I'm telling her straight away.
That's a good way, actually.
And if he's like, oh, it's just a laugh, whatever, or I absolutely won't, and he shows he's a little bit remorseful, then fair enough. Like, great. If he's acting a bit of a dickhead again, then I'd go to him like, listen, this is what happened on the wedding day, and he's still not acknowledging the fact that he's not going to do it again.
As a best friend, if I know you went to my partner and tried to be like, listen, this is your last chance, you've actually tried to do the right thing, so I wouldn't be mad that you've not come to me. Whereas by doing nothing, I think I would be a bit angry.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do nothing. I think I would have I would have let the wedding go ahead, and then later down, like when the dust has settled a little bit, I'd go to the partner and say, listen, that was not cool.
No.
Don't be a douchebag. And
I think, listen to you on this one, I'm a bit impulsive, so
I'm knocking it fucking head off.
Come at me.
I know, we are no longer with Daniel.
Dirtbag.
But I do agree with you. I think I'm probably a little bit more rational than you.
You are. I'm too impulsive. I'm like, someone looks at me dodgy. You looking at?
He'd have no arms and legs left, to be honest, if he'd done that to you.
So, Sarah Malin, if you're listening, darling.
If you ever try and kiss Millie, it's done, mate. It's done. Oh, good question, though. Like, I feel like that was just a bit of a Jeremy Kyle episode. I love it.
That was. But now we're on a bit of a lighter mood. I think it's time to move on to our gratitudes, my favourite part of the pod.
Right, shall I go first this time?
Yeah, you kick us off, love.
So the first thing that I'm grateful for this week is...
Oh, God, what is it?
I bought a paddling pool, but like a big paddling pool, right? Because I thought it's 30 degrees. Dexy loves the water.
Has it got a slide?
No. It's just a pool. But like Dexy loves the water. And honestly, watching her today, it was the funniest thing. She like couldn't get in. Obviously it's inflatable. So I was throwing a ball in, but it's like see-through around the sides. And she was like looking at the ball through the see-through things, not over the top of it. She couldn't work out. She started like punching it. She was like, bam, bam, on the edge. I'll send you the video. It's so funny.
That's so cute.
Then she figured out to get on. So she got onto the edge of the pool. And she's so clever. Like, she like was putting a paw in to try and like see how deep it is, like test the water first. Then she's walking around the perimeter of the outside of the pool and then eventually just gets in. But I'm like, oh my God. So it's been great. So she's cooling down on these hot days.
That's
so definitely
so cute.
Grateful for that.
My one is I went to get an injection the other day in London and my mum came down. But when we were coming through the tube station, I came across, firstly, it's kind of like 2 in 1, but it's the same thing. A family that were like just really polite, like so polite. I was like, sorry to disturb you, like please say no if it's too uncomfortable. All that. I was obviously on my crutches. And they were like, we just really wanted to get a picture, like you've made our day, like thank you so much for taking time and being polite. So that like made me feel really good. And then straight after him there was this young guy and he came over and he was like, I just had to go and ask that family and double check that it was actually you. He was like, could I be really rude and ask for a picture? And I was like, no, like of course you can, no worries. And then as he walked off, he went, by the way, I've had such a shit day and you've just made my day. He was like, now my day is ending on a high. And I was like, oh, that was really nice. And to know that you've made someone's day a little bit better just by saying, yeah, of course you can have a picture, like no problem. Or even just acknowledging someone, like it could be anything. But he was like so polite, like really polite. And he was like, I've had such a shit day. You've just literally made my day. Now I can go home smiling. I was like, oh, that was really nice.
That's so lovely.
So that's my first one. Just like grateful for people, just like being polite and just knowing that I made someone's day better was a nice feeling.
That's lovely. I really like that.
Yeah, really nice.
So our faith in the human race has been restored.
And again, you never know what someone's going through. And you know, he just looked like a young bloke going home from work, and he looked happy as ever, and he actually had a really shit day. So don't judge a book by its cover.
The next thing I am grateful for is my nephew. Went to see him this weekend. Went home for the day to go up to see everyone and go to my dad's grave and stuff. So that was nice. But he's just so cute. Like every time I see him, I'm just like, I just fall in love with him even more. He's literally the best thing ever.
He's so big now. He's growing so fast.
He's growing so fast. He's like, he's mad. He's just changes so much. I don't go for like 2 weeks and he's a different, like, says a new sentence but he's so clever. So definitely grateful for him this week.
What's his favourite like sentence?
I don't know his favourite sentence, but he does like,
or like words.
He says things like, actually, that's mine. So like, we're like, oh, that's Dexy's ball. Actually, it's mine.
Kids come out with like the most random things.
Honestly.
I'm like, you were here before. I always say that about Albie. I'm like, he's been here before, this kid. Like, right.
Great, aren't they?
My second one is my new pegs on my line.
Oh, I've just bought some new pegs.
I tell you what, the best thing.
I just bought new pegs yesterday.
Well, what are they? Because mine are big, chunky plastic ones, and they've got like little rubber ends, and nothing falls off. Nothing. I don't come out, and it's a bit windy, and socks and
like
bushes. The wooden ones are crap. But yeah, my new pegs banging, so good.
Love it. Little things in life.
Can't get over it.
Okay, so my next one is I am grateful for people who were there for me yesterday, because you know how hard that was for me. It always is. Every single Father's Day is probably the worst one. I had a really tough week dealing with it. It just came every day. It was a different piece of grief, and it was a really tough day yesterday. So I think I'm very grateful, beyond grateful for people. Everyone knows who they are, who were there for me on that day, checking in, and
just a little bit deeper on that, just for anyone that might have been going through the same. Does that start at the start of that week for you, knowing what days come in?
It actually, the build up to it is actually worse than the day, because I think I'm like preparing myself for this like huge piece of hurt, you know? And I think the hardest thing for me is like seeing everybody on social media with their dads, and that's exactly what it should be. Like every dad should be celebrated on that day. Like everyone's dads are amazing, but knowing that I won't ever be able to celebrate with my dad again is like, it just kills me. So it's like, it's almost like, I saw this post on Instagram yesterday, and it says like you get like a bit of like envy of everyone. Like I can't be around other people's dads on Father's Day. Like it like kills me. So I've got my own processes and stuff, but yeah, the actual build up to the day is worse than the actual day.
Yeah. Well, we love you, bestie, and you're doing amazing. So
thanks, bestie.
And he's always proud of you, you know that. What is my third one? I think my third one, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm very grateful for our podcast. I'm very grateful for all the people involved that have made this happen, because this genuinely has been like therapy for me every single week. And we're so busy that we don't get, everyone thinks that we both live in England. Like, oh, you must see Rach loads, like you must talk all the time. When actually life is so fast paced, like we don't actually rarely get time to just sit and chat. So this like allows us to do it.
Yeah, I love it.
So I would say I'm very grateful for everyone that's allowed us to have this like space, because for me it genuinely is like therapy. And I come off like so buzzing. I could have had like the shittest day. I come on and I like might be a bit down at the beginning, and by the end of it I'm like, right, ready for the day. I'm ready to attack like whatever's in front of me. So yeah, I'm very grateful for you. I'm grateful for the podcast and everyone that's put us in this position to waffle on, really.
Yes, bestie, that is a great one. That's a great way to end it.
Yeah, so that is it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed. Please keep subscribing, and we hope you're loving the content. There's so many more stories to come, and you never know, you might see some guests very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled.
Goodbye from me, and have a great week, everyone.
Goodbye from me, guys. Have a great week. See you soon.